14 days into 2017, exactly at 9:30 in the night, there is a police report of having killed 6 young men in one incident at the border of St. James and Trelawney. The police account is that they ambushed, though they don't use that language, a taxi carrying men. They signaled taxi to stop, it stops immediately, and 2 or some men came out firing at the police and the military. And the result is that the residents tell us hundreds of gunshots were heard and 6 men turned up dead, including ostensibly the taxi driver. Probe wants to examine this. First of all, we want to ask, was this a choreographed event for effect to create a sense that the government is doing something about a runaway homicide rate? More than 40 persons have been killed since the start of 2017, and the government wants to show strength. This is what has been the argument. Some of those very loyal and close to the government have argued that there needs to be signs of toughness, that we need to surrender civil liberties, and we have the Minister of National Security saying Dutty criminal gonna run away. Now that kind of language may sound colorful on the stage, but when you start to use language that dehumanizes a section of the population and objectify them and give an excuse to do anything to them in the name of public order, you are creating a problem for the rest of the society. So let's raise some questions. First of all, is the event credible? We want to talk with the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Elon Powell. He has responsibility for the criminal investigation branch. It wasn't his operation. Sounds like a combination between the military and the mobile reserve. But I asked him whether or not this is a credible story, whether there is such a thing as a ski mask gang, and whether we have heard of them before. He tells me that it is certainly the case. They are not a large gang, but they are a notorious gang that have been plaguing sections of Barretttown and that part of St. James that's very close to Wakefield in Trelawney. And he says that as many as 10, the Observer story says as many as 20 persons have been killed. But I've heard that before. What would be very curious is who are the people who are alleged to have been killed by these ski masks gang. Why ski masks? Anyway, I gather unusually that Indicom has already given the police a clean bill of health on this matter. It's remarkable when there's a kind of political congruence in these matters. I still have a little bit of doubt though about the story, and I just want to keep the lines out there for you. So the military and the police have been tracking this ski mask gang for some time. They found their huts in the hills. There was grocery there, and they got rid of the grocery. So they spent their time narrowing the options of the ski mask gang. And then they get wind that the gang members are traveling this lonely road near to Dumfries in St. James. And they have what you call an ambush. I don't know if law enforcement do that kind of thing in civilized country, but we had an ambush. And the result is 6 black youth are dead at the hand of the police. I want to just add some things. First of all, there has been a lot of media to do about show of strength and seriousness of purpose. There has been a comment to which I made reference earlier by the Minister of National Security, Dutty criminal go run away. And there is a new commissioner who needs to make her mark very, very clear that there is some seriousness of purpose. The account in the newspaper was filled with aliases, and whenever you see aliases come, it is to tell you to look the other way. These are not real human beings. they have no real rights, they are criminals, filled with aliases, tell us that the military and police signaled the taxi and it stopped immediately. And some of the passengers came out firing, but all of the passengers end up dead. If you've been around for a while, you would have a sense of nostalgia, a redivivus, a deja vu that this has happened before. I'd like to put on screen a visual of the squads that the government has used before, and I'd like to pick on at least one of them. Let's pick on the eradication squad in 1981 when we faced a similar thing. We had gone through a dreadful election year, 800 people were killed. It was necessary now to kill some black people and show that we are serious, and they created this squad called the eradication squad. In its worst days, policemen used to take their partner draw depending on how many people they had killed. The more you kill, the earlier you got your draw, or you had the right to determine when you get your draw. In one year, 1981, first year of the eradication squad, the police killed 321 Jamaican young black male and wounded 19 in the process. Check the records. The police since then, with all the rise of human rights institutions, have gotten a curb, and even with the creation of Indicom, cut that figure to under 100, double digits, and going down. For some reason, we have gotten an interest in slaughtering more black people again. We are slaughtering each other and the police is doing its bit. So you track that story. We have been killing people, we ourselves, young gang members. I asked Elon Powell to tell me which are the notorious gangs in St. James that support lotto scamming, and he said that there is no gang designated like that. And I asked him for some of the outstanding ones so that the next time I hear them slaughter some people from some gang, I would at least have heard about the gang before. He told me about Tommy Lee. He said that the Bone Crusher or Stone Crusher gang has been decimated and that they have regrouped in other gangs, but he couldn't identify anyone in particular. Now, why I'm interested in this story is not because I know whether these men are innocent. In fact, people from Barretttown came out with Dutch pot cover celebrating that at last the demons have been vanquished to hell and they can now live in peace. I hope so for their sake. But where did the ski mask gang come from in the first place? How were they funded? How were they resourced? What were they seeking? Does killing them answer any of those questions? You know, we have to always think about the fact that all of a sudden, in the last 5-10 years perhaps, St. James has gained notoriety. Young men all over that parish and all over parishes in Western Jamaica have taken turns killing each other and earn notoriety for mayhem and murder. What are the antecedent factors? What are the causes? Does it have anything to do with the entrenched social inequality in St. James? Does it have anything to do with the fact that there are 18 squatters communities in St. James? Does it have anything to do with high unemployment in that part of the world? Does it have anything to do with the fact that the tourism spend is restricted to the Gloucester Avenue and the Hip Strip and not to the communities? Does this violence have anything to do with it? And slaughtering them, will it change anything? Well, we have always needed great efforts at crime. We always create a squad. We always attempt things like these. Has it worked? Has the suppression of crime act worked? Did the CMU, the Crime Management Unit, work? Does the MOCA work? I think we have to deal with the fundamental problem. Long ago in the 1970s, we had a shoot first, ask question later mantra approach to crime. That approach is being used in Chicago in the USA, which is a high crime city. 745 murders in 2016, 3,200 shooting, mostly among African American males. They now have a situation in which the police seem to have taken a right to itself to shoot first and ask questions later. On Boxing Day, they shot a mentally ill man and a mother of 5 children in Chicago. The policeman who did it has not yet been charged, but his regrets are written all over the place. He knew he took innocent lives. Is that where we're heading in Jamaica? In Brazil, their population in the prisons have taken turn rioting in one prison or the other. More than 100 people have been killed in prison riots in the last 6 weeks or so in Brazil. 60% of the population in prison in Brazil are Afro-Brazilian, black people. What am I trying to get at? We are using excessive force. We are using language which devalues people. We are making it a political choreography to kill black people and prove that people are strong. Where is it heading? I think we are decimating the race of Africans in the diaspora, starting with their males. We are creating national security agenda that exists, that head in this direction. None of us is going to be safe. This overkill as a way of dealing with the underlying crime problem, which I contend is a function of the social inequality, the lack of opportunity at the base of the population, as well as perhaps the deteriorating family and community structure. The idea of shooting your way out, of slaughtering people and thinking that that will resolve the underlying problem has not worked. It does not work in Chicago, it does not work in Brazil, it will not work in Jamaica. It has not worked in Jamaica. Neither the gun court, nor the suppression of crime act, nor the eradication squad, nor the umpteen number of squads, including the CMU and so on. You can't use violence as a remedy to underlying social problems. And what is worse, at the rate at which we are killing our own people, especially our young male, 1,000 last year, nearly 40 already this year, and now the police has joined in on the act to slaughter their fair share. It's going to create an inviable society, a place that none of us is safe. If their lives are not valued, our lives will not be valued. If the gun is being used by the police with impunity, young men who are already hopeless will use the guns with impunity. We can't outshoot each other. That's why the wild, wild west never worked. It is time for good sense to prevail, for us to patiently, painstakingly confront the underlying issues, reorder our society to make a space for each and all, and get community to support.